In a world where so many people are searching for success, peace, and purpose, could the answer be something as simple as love?
Not the kind of love that's based on feelings alone, but the kind of love that Christ calls us to show every day.
Love has the power to heal. Love has the power to unite. And sometimes, love has the power to change a life.
Today, we're talking about why love matters, why love can be difficult at times, and why choosing love can be one of the most important things that we are called to do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Room 47 Podcast. I'm Elijah.
And I'm Naomi.
And before we get started, thank you for being here with us for our 10th episode. We truly appreciate the support. Let's get into it.
Welcome to episode 10. And today's episode is called The Power of Love.
All right, so today's topic is going to be, what does real love actually looks like? Question: when you think about the kind of love Christ calls us to show, what do you think real love actually looks like every day?
So when I think about the kind of love that Christ calls us to show, I think about an act of service. I think that it should come without question, meaning if you are going to extend that love to others, you should not hesitate. And it should also be like when nobody's watching, right? Like it shouldn't be for show, right? You should want to show that love.
Yeah.
And not only to just your family members, but it can be to strangers too, whatever that looks like.
Yeah. I could definitely say, I would say, my walk with Christ, Jesus definitely taught me to have a softer heart, not to feel like I got to compete with one another. And if a person isn't like supporting me on something that I'm doing, don't take it personal. Always try to have a kind heart for that person because you never know what they're facing on a day-to-day basis. Another thing I want to say, Christ has been doing for me a lot lately. He has been putting a lot of people in front of me that he wants me to help, because God knows that my old self, I wasn't really willing to give anything to like anyone. Like if it was like a homeless person or I saw someone that was in need, I always felt like, hey, I'm struggling too, so I can't help this person out. But now that I'm starting to mature spiritually with Jesus Christ, I'm starting to have that heart to want to forgive more. And if I don't do it, something makes me feel some type of way as I leave that place where that person is at. But that's how God is working with me in this situation. But we're going to jump right into the second topic.
Yeah, I love that. So topic 2 reads, why is love so hard sometimes? And if love is something we're all called to do, why do you think it's often so difficult to love people the way that Christ loves us?
I think it's very difficult for us to love the way Christ loved us, to show that love to others, is because Christ has unconditional love. And when it comes to the type of heart that Jesus Christ has, he doesn't carry pride, walk around with ego, feeling like he's better than anybody. He has a very forgiving heart. And in order to kind of show that love to others, you need to be a little bit more spiritually mature. But I feel like that just comes with when you face the different trials and tribulations in your life. You'll learn to overcome things. And last time I did these certain things, I kept going through that same thing over and over. So once you become more spiritually connected with God, you'll learn to have a softer heart to care for others, just like Christ. But you'll never be perfect.
Yeah, 1000%. So it can be hard to love people the way that Christ loves us because, like you said, Jesus Christ died on the cross to forgive us of our sins. So he naturally wants us to be forgiving.
Yes.
Now, while we can never reach that stature, we can try to get as close to that as possible because he created us in the image of him. So what that may mean is just kind of softening your heart, like you said, learning to forgive others, even though it may take time, and extending grace.
And another thing I want to say, the closer you start to get to Christ and you start to really just walk by faith and fulfill his will, you start to sin less. You start to be a little bit more obedient. you'll start to know from right from wrong. And it could be times where you're actually sinning and you really upset with yourself. And before you probably started walking with Christ, you never felt that way. But I know that's something that I face throughout my life. Whenever I feel like I'm not doing the right things that God want me to do, it really does bother me. And I know that that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. So as you mature spiritually with Christ, you will get better with that.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, so we just want to thank you guys. If you made it this far into the podcast, we have a couple questions that we would like to ask you guys. Naomi, you want to let them know?
Yep. So what is one act of love or kindness that someone has shown you that you'll never forget? Do you think people show enough love and compassion to one another today? Why or why not? And what's one way you try to show love to others in your everyday life?
Let us know, hear your perspectives, and leave a comment within the comment section. And we love to hear what you have to answer. And now we're going to move forward into the next topic, and that would be topic 3.
Great.
All right, topic 3. Can you love people who hurt you? Do you think it's possible to truly love and forgive a person who have hurt you? And do you think it's such a difficult thing to do?
Well, this one is a tough answer because you can only really love and forgive someone who has hurt you if you can learn to forgive yourself. But also you have to really just let go of resentment.
Yeah.
You have to be able to understand why that person may have reacted in that way. Hurt people. So you have to kind of be forgiving and understand, okay, that person may have gone through something that made them react in that way. So, think to Christ and pray to Christ to have him show you how to forgive, right? And help you through that process. But in my situation, I do have a personal situation that occurred a few years ago, well, a long time ago, where I fell out with some of my best friends, my closest friends. And it all stemmed from them not being able to accept the fact that I had a long-term boyfriend who now is my fiance. And so when they would have somebody in their lives, I would be so supportive and genuinely happy, but I couldn't get the same in return. And I couldn't really understand why. For a long time, I was in denial.
Yeah.
And it took a couple of years to realize maybe, I have to distance myself from them. So now when I'm much older and much wiser and more spiritually mature, I'm able to just forgive them because they may not have known the effect that that may have on me. And also maybe, I don't know, it could have been other feelings there, but I have learned to forgive.
Yeah.
And that does feel better. Like it does take like a weight off of your chest, so to speak.
Yeah.
What about for you?
Yeah, that's just a part of the purpose, when someone hurts you and you have to forgive them, it's just a part of both of our purpose. That definitely relates to me as well. Many years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, I had a falling out with my cousin. She may not know why I had a falling out with her. I was really upset because I reached out to her for something. And what I reached out to her was about, she just kept making it hard for me to get in touch with this person I was trying to reach to get some work done. She said, you can't text them, you can't call them, you have to email them. And I had no problem with emailing them, but she was just telling me all this stuff that didn't need to be said, So I emailed the person. He got back to me maybe within like a week and a half later. But when he reached out to me, I said, hey, what's up, man? I'm just curious to know how much do you charge for this and that and the third. Also, do you have this and that and that? And what location are you located at? And then I said, can you give me like 2 weeks to get my wardrobe up and I'll be back in touch with you? Reached back out to him, and literally 2 weeks later, never heard back from the person. I gave it a couple weeks, gave it a month, never heard from him. And then another family member saw me doing like a lot of great things throughout my career in the beginning. and they said, hey man, we got you this going, we got you that going. Now it's time to get these photos and stuff together. So he said, such and such takes pictures. I'm gonna reach out to him. And I said, nah, I already reached out to him. It never happened. I don't know why it didn't happen. And he said, well, I'm the big cousin, I'll make it happen. So I said, all right, no problem. So I just gave in with it. And the big cousin wasn't able to fulfill those, things for me as well. So I realized it must be something deeper than that. So it was like a grudge that I was holding for many, many years. And I was very upset with it. And I realized from me holding that grudge for many, many years, it kept me from growing. It kept me from becoming the person that God wanted me to be. And as I started to get more spiritually mature and connected with Jesus Christ, I was in the shower one day and God said to me, you know what, son? I know you've been hurting for a long time, but I want to release you and I need you to go and forgive. So I went down to my cousin's house. I actually called her up first, very early in the morning, and I forgave her. And then they said, yeah, you can come by if you're free. I came by, we hugged it out, made peace. And it's been the best thing ever for me. I felt like God really opened up a door and released the chains that been holding me back my whole entire life. So if you're holding a grudge against anyone, just let it go, give it to God, and start walking by faith, and God will give you everything that you deserve. So don't take it personal.
Love is more than a feeling. It's something we choose to show through our actions every single day.
And sometimes the greatest challenge isn't receiving love. It's learning how to give it, especially when it feels difficult.
Real love isn't always easy. Sometimes it requires patience. Sometimes it requires grace. And sometimes it requires forgiveness.
But when we choose love the way Christ calls us to love, we create space for healing, growth, transformation in our lives and in the lives of others.
The love we give has a way of reaching people in ways we'll never fully understand.
And if you want to see more love in the world, it starts with each one of us.
And share this episode with someone who may need to hear it.
Thank you for spending time here with us on Room 47 Podcast. And if this episode connected with you, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you next time.
Until then, keep growing, keep loving, and we'll see you soon in the next episode of Room 47 Podcast.